ticket. I found out at the last minute. And it's important to me to talk to y'all. And I just finished talking to the #1 camp in New York City. And they got all the best players in the world coming to the camp. You have to graduate to get to it. And they said, Pete, we don't think we could pay you. And I said, yeah, you know, whatever y'all pay me, so because y'all can, I feel free. But to be honest, I mean, I could knock y'all American camp in the past, but this is the camp. See what I'm saying? Because those camps with all Americans, those guys got that head start in basketball, and they got that head start in life. This is where it all begins right here. But let me preface this conversation by saying this. Who is this? Who is it? There you go. Anthony Mason Sr. That's right. But you know what? Let me say this. It is strange. God does things in mysterious ways. My wife, right? Who obviously I met 30 years ago, never saw me play. But guess who her favorite basketball player was? Right here. Favorite basketball player is this guy right here. Because she didn't really understand basketball. Then through me, she started looking at basketball, and she just couldn't believe that this guy could be playing on New York Knicks. And his side, and sometime in the game, guarding centers. Knocking the centers out of the way to get the rebound. Running the fast rate, going the distance and dunking the ball. It was almost phenomenal what he could do with a basketball. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how this guy got that talk. You know what I'm saying? You got to do a little father. So it obviously runs in the family. But more important than that running in the family is the fact that he was also one of them guys that you could talk to. He's one of them guys to get back. He never was one of them guys. You see a lot of NBA guys that you see him and hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, keep walking. How you doing? How you doing? They don't even want to look at you. Because they get to that next level when they think that you're supposed to look up to them. And you're never supposed to look up to nobody in your life. You look up to God in your life. You don't look at somebody else after God, you look at your parents. Because they are the ones that are playing God in your life, dealing with every sacrifice in your life. Somebody had a question. What was the question you had?
My question was,
and anybody want to ask me anything about me, you could ask me. See, because everything you trying to do, going in both directions. In the basketball world, you're never going to find nobody say there was a point guard better than me. No point guard on the planet Earth. Because when I played, I was what they call a combo guard today. When Julius Erving played in Rucker, I was the guy that scored the league in scoring when they played. Both years they played. And when I was in high school, I got the most valuable playing against Will Chamberlain, who was a pro. And I played with Happy Harrison, who played with the Lakers against him, and I got most valuable then. So, as a nation in scoring in college, and then went in a junior college, with 40-some point average, then went to a 4-year school and broke every record you could break in 4 years. I broke every record in 1 year and got drafted NBABrothers, the first people for the school. So when it comes to street basketball, and the way my life is blessed that I get to play against a lot of pros. Most of the guys in the top 50 Hall of Fame. I mean, but I live that double life. One that you have to avoid, and the other one you have to find. And that's what this camp is about. Helping you find the right way before you make a mistake and go the wrong way. We know what's going on in the hood, right? We know the things we gotta survive. Everybody know we gotta survive, right? In the hood. But the key is we're all gonna survive. Too many of us do not survive because we get caught in the realities. Like in Chicago just now. Kid got killed. 9 years old. Y'all know about it? 9 years old little boy. They near him in the alleyway. Basketball. And killed him. Executed him. Because his father was associated with a gang. And did something he should have did. And I've been trying to tell young people that for years, you know. And I deal with with Bloods and Crips, and them guys that run the Bloods and Crips come to New York City to speak, they call me and say, Pew, we want you to be there. Pew, we just want you to be there. That's how I be there. You know, but the fact of the matter is See, all those guys pay homage to me for being the biggest gangster in the world in that regard. All the rappers, same thing. That's why the rappers, they mention my name, that's why I went. Y'all see the rappers, y'all look up to the rappers, the gangster rappers, and the gangster rappers look up to me. I mean, when you see the movie coming out, you'll see the movie, it'll be out this year, and you'll see it because they know all that started in rap with the big cars, the jewelry, the Ferrari, the Maserati, Lamborghini, the mansions. All that started with me as a kid. As a kid. I wasn't even in, I was like, what, 15, 16 years old? So I know that life. But I could have did my life story in 1971, but I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to glorify that life. Because that American Gangster thing was a joke compared to my life. Plus the movie was a joke anyway, because everything he said in the movie never existed in reality. He never went out of the country, never did none of it. All he did was get arrested. And the first time he got arrested, he told on 100 people before he ever got out. Before he ever got out of prison, he told on 100 people. I got your attention? Or you want to ask a question? But he understands the snitch thing. It's not a joke. Want me to tell you why snitching is not a joke today? None of you might be in a position to understand it, but every time you pick up that social media, every time you go on Facebook, every time you want to post something, you know what you're doing? I talked to the judges this morning. I'm talking to 2 judges on the phone this morning. Before I came in, I had a rush. I got to go. You know what they were telling me? They said that law enforcement no longer have to arrest kids. They don't need nobody to snitch because young people now snitch on themselves every time they post, every time they go on social media, every time they go on Facebook. They tell on themselves. Everything they doing, they got to brag about it. So what did the kid kill? The kid in Chicago, a little kid, killed him. Brag about it, social media. He telling me about Hank Carter, which is another situation. Another kid shot. What they do? Go on social media and brag about it. You know, you got to understand, social media it's almost like hip hop. Hip hop is the greatest thing ever happened to the young generation because it produced more millionaires than even basketball. But it's an ominous, a threatening side of hip hop that's so dangerous. Gangster rap is so dangerous to young people that it's almost unbelievable. Like one of the models with the program I run, we say, we can't tell young people not to listen to hip hop. I would never say that. Our motto is get something from it, but don't become it. Because it don't affect all the race. But the one I'm looking at right now. White folks, white kids listen to hip hop. They like the music. They buy the music. They even started dressing to the music. They dress to the music. You see what I'm saying? But guess what? When they go home and go to sleep, they forget about the music. They wake up and go to school to get the best grades they can get in school. They don't wake up and go to school to show out. They don't wake up and go to school acting like something they heard in a rap song. They don't wake up and go to school not thinking I want to get 90, 95. That's what I want to be my grades. That's their focus, their primary focus. So let's go back to the question I asked. What's the most important year in high school?
The first one.
The most important year is what?
The first one.
Wow, other group couldn't answer that. Only one young answer. Why the first year?
Because that sets the way for the other years.
It sets the what? What grade you in?
Junior.
Because you kind of messed up. You learned there's nothing wrong with it. What did I say? I'm going to say it to this group. Nobody messed up like I messed up. But then nobody in the world turned their life around like I did. You can't go from being the biggest gangster to being one of the most respected people in America. I mean, I got executive clemency awards. I could be a cop and carry them. I got proclamations. I got hundreds of Man of the Year awards, 5 and 6 different Black Mile awards. I mean, I can't even begin to explain all the awards I won. Speaking to young people all over the country. But I had to make a decision. After I made a mistake in my life and went the wrong way and went to maximum security prison, I got letters then from playing the Civic Pro League, averaging 70 points and scoring 135 points in one game and 100 points the game before that. I got letters from the coach. He just spoke the other day, right? He was in Seattle some time. What he said? He said, I was doing Peace and Peace. You ever thought about what happened if you came to Seattle? He sent me a letter there saying, we want you to come and teach our point guard what a real point guard is. Because he had God in me. He's playing the ball himself, bringing the ball out. And even one time when I was away, Wally Jones, you know Wally Jones? He was like one of the top defensive players in the league. He said, after I scored 70, he said, after the game, he said, Pew, I heard you could play. Never dreamed you could play this good. You see what I'm saying? But I messed it all up. Basketball never let me down. I let the game of basketball down. And I realized it. And when I realized that's why they go to Seattle, and Larry Brown, I was in the hotel maybe a week before that, when David Thompson played with Denver. He came and said, Larry Brown said, Pete, you got a no good contract, just come. Then he sent David Thompson to my room to try to convince me. But I had made up my mind that I made a mistake and I had to turn it around. I had to turn it around. I didn't want to go to the NBA and turn it around. That already proved to everybody how good I was against the best players in the world. I didn't want to go that route again. I wanted to prove who I was to myself. I wanted to go back to the people that I hurt and let down, all the people in colleges I went to, all the people in the neighborhood, everybody in Holland, everybody in New York that loved me, and they wanted me to go pro more than I did. I wanted to go back and make it right in their minds, and I did. For 25 years, maybe actually now 28 years, and I've been doing it, and I love it. And the crazy thing about it is, as great as I played, and as much enjoyment as I got in basketball, you don't get no greater enjoyment than this. Being able to talk to young people, being able to make a difference in young people's lives. I can tell you stories you wouldn't even believe. I mean, the stories about people's lives, I write things in magazines, and they get to prison, Fed magazine, and they fighting for it. And they turn their life around there, and I don't have no personal power. So what I'm talking about has got to be God's power for me to be standing. Watch when y'all see the movie when it come out. Watch. I mean, the guns ain't clicking at my head, and I'm not dying for nothing. But I just didn't realize it at the time, because I went through what most you guys got to go through. But my friends, most of them, they dead. Other ones, 3 or 4, doing life in prison. And when I mean life, I mean like never coming home. So as bad as it was for me, I still got a break. But like I said, I made a mistake, and I didn't make a mistake twice. And that's one of the biggest things we got to do. We all make mistakes. Everybody agree with that? You got to go there.
The girls have to go. I'm sorry, but ladies have to go.
Yeah. But you know what, ladies, let me say this to y'all before y'all go, on the way out. Because when I speak to ladies, you got to know your power. And you once have the power. You can't get caught up into that's my boo, and I'm ride or die no matter what. Because you know what you're giving them? A license to keep getting in trouble, keep getting felonies, keep getting misdemeanors, keep going to jail, because you're holding them down. Sending packages saying I'm a visit. You can call me on the phone. You ain't got a guy here. Ain't one person here would want to go to prison if he thought he had nobody he could call. If he thought he had no girl would visit. If he had no girl that would say, I'm going to hold you down. If he had nobody would be in that visit when he needed a visit, or a letter when he needed a letter, or was going to help him while he was in prison. Ain't nobody here would do that. But if y'all understand your power, you would never let him put you in that position. What you would do is you would say to him, look here, this is not what I want to do with my life. I don't want to live that life. I mean, those young girls, y'all age, guys visit them, and guess what? They like 35 years old now. And guess what? They still visiting guys. Because once you give a guy a license, think he keep going back to jail, you're going to keep visiting, and then you're going to get stuck later on, because at some point, you're going to want a child. And guess what? You're going to have a child in prison. Now, you have to live the rest of your life as your baby going in prison. Same thing with your guys that's having a child.
I know you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. I got a lot of guys, it's not a joke. That's what I'm saying. It's not a joke. See, I got a lot of guys I know that send me, Pew, you understand, Pew, I can't turn away from the game because they raised me since I was 11. Pew, I was born in prison, man. When I got out, I was a kid. My mother stayed in prison. I got them. They said my parents are out of the country. So they legally adopted me, but I ran away. So what I'm going to do? The gang raised me. I said, okay, I'll tell you what to do. I'm never going to tell you to walk away from people that love you and raise you. But what I'm saying to you, you can be in a gang without banging. You can be in a gang, you don't have to gang bang. Can you understand that? What are you doing now? Got a business, right, people? Got a business, doing real well, got a wife. Just because he understood, he listened. Same thing with Allen Iverson. They was fixing to kick out knives out of the NBA. And they was paying me to speak to the rookies in the NBA $100 a minute. $100 a minute they were paying me. And they really didn't want me to tell them. But I could see, in life, one of my philosophies is, never do anything you can't live with or walk away from anybody you cannot live without. And that's probably what makes me who I am. I don't do things I can't live with. I made that mistake once in my life. So I could not tell Iverson, so I told him. But they didn't call me back to speak, but it was okay. I told him right in front of him, I didn't tell him in the closet. But I explained to Iverson, NBA is a Fortune 500 company. You cannot bring your people into that company. You're sitting on a bench with a do-rag, they gas, they'll put the motor in your back, making you think you're a gangster and a basketball player at the same time. That's not gonna work in the NBA because you're the cash cow. You are the one making the money. Without you, everybody's starving. He said, well, Peter, I hear what you're saying, but you're saying I shouldn't. I said, no, I'm not saying you shouldn't be real to your people because I know all of them. Everybody in that world I know, and everybody in that world I don't know me. From New York, Chicago, to Atlanta, all over the country, and out of the world. It's crazy, because the guy was telling me yesterday, he said, Rocky name is so big in England, right? And you know what the other guy on the phone said, yeah, but I bet it ain't big as Pee-wee's. And it's crazy, I've never been in England, but my name's so big that they just tried to get me to come to speak to the biggest youth organization there. And they mentioned Puff Daddy and somebody else, and you know, but they're all in coffee. You know, the young say, no, we want to talk to people. Because they know when they talk to me, there's nothing I don't know about that game that they have to survive. And I'm always available through him. So anybody, anything, whatever if I could be there, all you got to do is let him know. And he got my number. He can call me. Because things get real rough, man. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we don't know how to understand how to say no. And the same thing with these young ladies right here. Let me say something to you. The minute you say okay to a game, the minute you say okay, your life is over. Your life is over. And the gang members talk to me and said, man, Pee-wee, man, I wish somebody talked to me before, like when I was a kid. Listen to what Pee-wee say, man, listen to him. Because once you're in, you're hooked forever. There's no way out. Because for the rest of your life, wherever you go, if they send you to church, you got to recruit. Y'all know that. Everywhere you go, in church, you got to recruit other gang members. You go to school, you got to recruit. Now, those some gang members went to Harvard University. And they sitting there, you say 5 words to them, they're recruiting you. Because it don't change, and that's what you commit yourself to. But at the same time, you don't control your life, because if a gang got a problem, when they say we're riding on this person, if you ain't dead, the next day, you know they're riding on, right? They're riding on you. So why would you put yourself in a position? So that's gangs. And then we get back to getting high. You know what? I've been dealing with youngsters in the record industry, and you know everybody in the industry. I mean, I met a kid not recently. I met him when I was at the fair. They were signing the Father Dirt. And we was at the fair, they called me first to sign it. So we want Pee-wee Kirkland to sign it first. I thought that was a lot of love. But when I was there, I met a young kid out of Chicago. What's his name?
John C.
Who is John C? John C.
Snakes in on the address.
Right? Y'all know him, right? What did he say when he came to you? He said, I stood over there for about a half an hour looking. Then I said to myself, there's got to be him. Then he walked over, he said, man, Pee-wee, you don't know, man, what it means to meet you, man, what it means to be talking to you, Pee-wee. You ain't got no idea. What I told him, I said, tell my son how they feel about me in Chicago. Because people don't know. He said, man, you have no idea. I'm going to say, love your father, Chicago. Love your father. But see, people don't love me for being on top of that game score. They love me for being that guy that turned it around. That guy that had enough sense to use that same energy and power that God blessed me to have to create the right impact in young people's lives. And all I'm saying, the key to life is listening. You're going to have a lot of people trying to help you. That's what they trying to do this organization right now. They trying to help you from making a mistake guys like me made. My partner's not here. Probably the second greatest player that I would ever say played the game. Shot the ball. And Curry is an unbelievable shooter. I cannot tell you, well, for sure he didn't shoot as well as Joe did on backboard. But I can't say he was a better shooter than Joe. I thought they was even until the last player when Villanova, somebody was guarding him. And then Delano, whatever it is. He was guarding and gave him a problem, right? And then I said, wait a minute, Then I started thinking about Joe. Nobody gave him a problem. Nobody could stop him. Nobody on the planet Earth could stop him. You hear what I'm saying? And I remember when I broke the record, he was scoring 67. Next game, I'm at the point he broke my record, scoring 74. But he was so good, never went to high school. He got drafted to the pros, hardship draft. Never went to high school. He got drafted to the pros. That's how well he played, shot, and understood the game. And I just missed him. He'd been with me, but I couldn't get him to pick up. And he called me when I was at the door. When I walked in the door to speak to youngsters in class, he called me. You know, but again, he got drafted, didn't go out, got drafted to the Bulls, he got drafted to the Lakers, and we both thought that other life was the answer. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the answer. Other life is the problem. With girls, let me say it now. With guys, right? You have got to put your, God's going to follow you. Don't think you have to follow their lead, because God don't have no need. All they doing is looking at your bodies. I want to hit that. I want to hit this. Oh, I like that. Oh, I this or that. But they kind of confused. Why are guys confused today? Want me to tell you why you're confused? Because hip-hop got you confused. And women are confused because they don't really know how to deal with you. Because their natural nature, when they care about you and like you, is to want to be loyal to you. But how the hell are they be loyal to you when hip-hop is telling you, you're a herd, you're selling out, you ain't keeping in the 100 if you're being loyal to her. So now you're in the club with your people, you watch me, and somebody said, come up with the digits, say, hey, girl, want to speak, she want you to give the digits, say, yeah, tell her name, I'm gonna call her later, man. Tell them to hit her off tonight. What about the girl? That's your girl. What about the one that's with you? What about the one that you want to be true? What about the one that you don't want to have? She's dealing with other guys and going out with other guys and doing something behind your back. You forget all about that. Because you just get caught in the matrix. The hip-hop, social media matrix. You got to go. You got to make the move. Because if you don't make the move to your friends, they say, nah, man, he ain't right. Say it again.
You're a bozo.
One more time.
You're a bozo.
Show. You see what I'm saying? Right. You see what I'm saying? So, you see, it all look big happen. But guess what? They create all the names. And we fall right in line with it. We fall right in line with it. So what we do is nothing in the world, in your life, in my life, I can tell you. And I had everything. Been a millionaire when I was, what, 16, 17? I had been everywhere, had everything. Nothing in the world I would give up for my wife. Nothing in the world is more important than a good woman that really do care about you. Deep down inside, care about you for who you are. You see what I'm saying? So when you find that young lady, be real about that. Don't deal with hip-hop. Remember Jay-Z made the song Big Pimpin'? And all of a sudden, all across the country, every young guy was a pimp. All of a sudden, he was a player. All of a sudden, he's looking at the girl that really cared about me, trying to explain to the baby, but you know, man, I got to eat, man, and things ain't going well, man, you can help me out. Now you're trying to turn her out, right? And it's all a game in the music. Why is it a game? Because while you trying to listen to Jay-Z and turn her out, what is Jay-Z doing? Trying to find him a Beyonce to get married to. Am I wrong? So you see the flip? Trying to find a Beyonce to get married to. But look at the other flip. Everybody talking about gangsters. Y'all know 50 Cent. And I was the guy on Wendy Williams, guy who used to deal. I'm on Wendy Williams, I heard the guy that's, wow, I can't believe how good he is. When Wendy was on the radio, and she said, what's his name? I said, 50 Cent. He called me 2 weeks later, because one of his bodyguards in the program, and said, and I said, what's up, man? He said, man, I just want to tell you thanks a lot, Peter, man. I owe you, man. I'll never forget this. I said, well, he said, Interscope called me after they heard what you said on the radio, and I went out there and I just signed him. 50. But you know what the out there, 50? Smart. Knew the game. Knew how to get in, get out of it. And 50 in the video, and everybody watching, and everybody watching that 50 ain't never smoked nothing. It's all a game. All a game. Don't kid yourself. Now, there's certain people in the game that's a little more serious. Huh? Say it again?
The trap on rappers.
Well, yeah, some of them Jeezy, right? Now Jeezy come before he would sign with Jay-Z. He came to New York and said, put the word out. He wanted to meet me first. then I met him and said, Peter, I just want you to know, man, I got so respect for you. My life is like yours in a way because I'm giving back. I think I went to the hotel with me, putting a video in called Snowman or something like that. Snow something, white something, whatever it was. Close it, Peter. Yeah, snow something. I wasn't paying the video on mine. I was listening to what he was saying, right? Right, he wouldn't even sign with Jay-Z till he took him. So all I'm saying is, all of them I know. And the truth about him, you know what the truth is? About Jesus? He wasn't that good a rapper. They just, Atlanta just said, we tired of guys acting like they're gangsters. Now, when the next guy in Atlanta, they get a big deal, is going to be in that world for real. And that's how Jesus got put on, because he was doing shows and getting more money than the guys that were signed. But he kind of got his head on kind of tight, because he, you know, you got to, rap is okay, everything is okay, if you don't let it use you or abuse you. So let's go back to that first grade. The high school is